Okay, this is review problem 54. Now here they've given us a linear quadratic system. How do I know? Well, that right there is a quadratic. Notice the x squared there. And this, of course, is a good old line, right? Y equals mx plus b. And basically, we're going to have a quadratic. We're going to have a line go through it. And most likely, it's going to cross in two places. Most likely. So let's just go ahead and solve this equation just using algebra. We could, by the way, use a graphing calculator, but I'm going to save that for the next video. So if you're interested in using the graphing calculator, definitely watch problem 55. Okay, so let's brute force it here. So basically, if I have x squared plus 8, I want to know when it equals x plus 15. So now how do I solve this? Is because it's a quadratic, I'm going to get everything together on the left and make sure it equals 0. So what I'm actually going to do is minus x both sides and also minus 15 both sides. With the x and the 15 gone, I now have it equal to 0. Now what is this over here? Is putting in order x squared. We have just a minus x. And 8 minus 15 is negative 7. Now, unless I made a mistake, we have a problem that's going to give us numbers that are not rational. In other words, I can't factor that. I don't know if you noticed that, but I can't factor that. So let's go ahead and use the quadratic formula. I covered this in the previous video. But we know our a is 1, we know our b is negative 1, and we know our c is negative 7. So let's give it a try. We're going to do the negative of the b plus or minus square root. B squared is 1 because negative 1 squared is 1, minus 4 times a, which is 1, and c is negative 7. And that's all over 2 times a. And continuing on, negative of negative 1 is 1, plus or minus square root. This right here is negative 28, but 1 minus a negative 28 is 1 plus 28, which is 29 over 2. So there's our two answers. And so let's go back to the problem. They're saying, how many real solutions are there? The answer is 2. As I hinted, most of the time it should be 2. But it's important that you verify with your work. Again, what are the two answers? 1 plus square root of 29 over 2. 1 minus the square root of 29 over 2. These are actually the two answers given here. But the important thing is, how do you solve a linear quadratic system? You take the quadratic, set it equal to the line. As I did here, make sure you get it together equal to 0. And then you either factor if possible. This one we couldn't. So your only logical choice was to do the quadratic formula.